Hey, gorgeous! Welcome back to the film Frontline, where we serve you the absolute unfiltered tea on everything movies and television. I'm so excited you're here today because we are diving ahead first into a true crime story so wild, so completely unhinged that you are going to need a minute to process it. Grab your iced matcha or your coffee, get comfortable, and let's talk about HBO's newest docuseries obsession, Murder in Glitterball City. All right, let's get into the messy, dark, and fascinating details. When you hear the name World of Wonder Productions or creators Fenton Bailey and Randy Barbetto, your mind probably goes straight to RuPaul's Drag Race. They are the absolute kings of queer pop culture. But let's not forget, they are also the masterminds behind the Emmy-winning documentary The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Now, they're bringing that same sharp cinematic eye to true crime, and they are serving a total masterclass in storytelling. Murder in Glitterball City takes us back to 2010 in Louisville, Kentucky, which, fun fact, is nicknamed Glitterball City because it's literally the birthplace of the disco ball. But there is absolutely nothing sparkling about this story. The documentary unpacks the horrifying murder of a 37-year-old drag performer named James Carroll. Here is where the story goes entirely off the rails. The prime suspects are a gay couple, Jeffrey Munt and Joey Banis. The documentary actually opens with a chilling videotaped confession from Joey Banis threatening to take his own life while taking full blame for the murder, all while his partner is asleep off camera. You'd think, okay, case closed, why is this a two-part series? But that is just the first expectation this documentary builds up, only to completely shatter. Both men eventually admit that a man was murdered in their home and buried in the basement inside a Rubbermaid container filled with lime. But here is the catch. They point the finger at each other. They each craft these elaborate narratives where they are the victim of the other's violent, manipulative behavior. The filmmakers brilliantly lean into this ambiguity. In the most iconic, dynamic sequence of the entire series, we get to see their trial testimonies played side by side. The documentary pauses one man's story to play the other's, showing how they have virtually identical accounts of the night, just with the roles of killer and innocent bystander swapped. It is gripping, and it completely refuses to spoon-feed you an answer. We also have to talk about the house itself because it is giving major haunted vibes. The murder took place in this massive, stately Victorian home in one of America's most haunted neighborhoods. It used to be a sanatorium where a sadistic doctor performed experiments in the basement. The community interviews are fascinating, painting this picture of an idyllic neighborhood where queer people could live openly and proudly. Yet, it's deeply haunted by its dark past and this grisly crime. The series is based on the book A Dark Room in Glitterball City by David Dominé, and the directors actually weave in moments of levity to balance out the heavy, dark subject matter. They have people involved in the case read excerpts from Dominé's book on camera. The reactions are everything from indifferent to downright hilarious, including a perfectly timed shady eye roll from the prosecuting attorney that is just reality TV gold. But let's talk about where the documentary drops the ball, because we have to keep it real. There are a few frustrating gaps. First, it completely glosses over the fact that cameras for the reality show The First 48 might have played a role in how the initial investigation was handled. Second, there was a crucial autopsy report in the case file that could have actually corroborated one of the men's stories in court, and the documentary barely touches on why it wasn't utilized. We needed a deep dive into that. Finally, the most heartbreaking flaw, or perhaps a deliberate, devastating choice by the directors, is that out of everyone interviewed, only one person genuinely seems emotionally destroyed by the loss of James Carroll. It's his hairdresser friend from his hometown, and she delivers the most poignant, haunting line of the entire series. Monsters really do exist, but we create our own with the drugs and the lies and the bullshit that we choose to live. It's a gut punch that reminds you that beneath all the true crime spectacle, a real, flawed human being lost his life. Here is my personal take on Murder in Glitterball City. I am absolutely living for the way this documentary handles the concept of the unreliable narrator. It's giving major Gone Girl energy, but in real life. True crime can sometimes feel formulaic, like it's just checking boxes until the killer is revealed in the last 10 minutes. But by refusing to give us a neat, tidy resolution, this series forces us to sit with the discomfort of not knowing. It brilliantly highlights how the justice system, personal relationships, and even our own memories are easily manipulated. It's dark, it's dramatic, and it treats its audience like intelligent viewers who can handle the gray areas of human morality. It's an absolute must-watch for the true crime girlies out there. But be prepared to walk away with more questions than answers. So I have to know what you think. If you've watched it, or just based on what we've talked about today, who do you think is pulling the strings? Is Joey Banis the true mastermind? Is Jeffrey Munt the manipulative killer? Or are they both equally guilty as sin? Drop your most unhinged fan theories and thoughts in the comments down below because I want to read every single one of them. If you loved this deep dive, make sure you smash that like button and do not forget to subscribe to the Film Frontline so you never miss out on the latest Hollywood tea, deep dive reviews, and everything in between. Keep thriving, keep watching, and I will see you in the next one.